Hello YouTube, this is Super Person, but of course you can call me Super, and I'm here to make another video. As you can see beside me, I have a guest today. Yes, it's a video I've been wanting to make for a while, and you guys probably already know it. It's a video about Otherkin dating, so this is my boyfriend here.
Hello, I'm Seth. I'm a tiger therian.
Yes. So, been wanting to do this for a while, just been sort of preoccupied and stuff, so I haven't gotten to it. But he's finally here, he's able to answer. Yeah, so sort of say his experiences about like us dating and how dating an otherkin or a therian like as a couple works. So yeah, how should we begin this then?
Well, why don't we start with the first topic here?
Alright, I put a list this time, people, so I'm sort of going to stay on somewhat of a topic and not be super tangenty, but we all know how my videos go if you've watched my videos. I'm going to be tangenty. It's going to happen, especially with two of us here. It's going to happen. So, this is a lot of our experience, at least my full experiences with dating is only with another otherkin or a therian. I've never had experience dating a kin, except for like very casual, limited dates, not long-standing, and that's your experience as well. Yeah, so it's his experience as well. So we don't have a lot of experience dating someone who's not a therian. So we're just going to say our perspectives on what it's like with a therian and how that is with, with us. But, we can understand how it may be difficult dating a non-therian, but we're going to say, this is all our experiences dating a therian or an otherkin, sort of depending. So one of the major things about dating an otherkin is, like, how you feel around your partner. Versus how you feel around your partner who is an otherkin and someone maybe who isn't an otherkin.
Yeah.
That really affects it, a lot of it. How less subconscious you would be if you're with someone who's an otherkin. Let's see, I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, you go. I'm losing my train of thought.
You're less self-conscious when you know the other person is as crazy as you are. So you feel more open to be yourself, and you feel a lot more at ease. Whereas with a non-otherkin, even if you get them to understand what you are and accept, I get this feeling that I would still feel slightly uncomfortable being myself around them simply because they just don't know what it feels like. It's like being put through an ordeal and everyone else feeling sorry for you, and they don't know what you went through. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, they can't put themselves in your shoes as an otherkin because they don't understand what it's like to be an otherkin. They can only sympathize or imagine what it's like, but they don't understand. So when you do something, let's say that is sort of to your kin type, like you want to be scratched a certain way, or you want to make a certain noise or curl up, or you have a burst of energy and you're just feeling really shifty and you want to do something, they may respect the fact that you want to do that, but they will never understand what it is to feel that way. So in some sense, you almost always, I would assume I would feel always self-conscious around someone who isn't an otherkin or a therian, because I would think they don't really understand. They're just sort of going along with the ride, and not really. I don't think they embrace it as much as someone who is what you are, I guess, is my point. So yeah, I guess one of the biggest things is the whole you're just a little self-conscious. I couldn't imagine myself, I did in the beginning. I tried to imagine myself with a non-therian or another kin, getting someone who's open to the whole craziness of what I am, but you had to think how self-conscious you would feel as an otherkin in that situation. You'd be all the time thinking they're judging you, or all the time thinking that in the back of their mind they think you're crazy, or they just don't understand because they don't understand the feeling.
Not to mention the stress involved with initially telling them about all this and hoping they don't freak out.
Yes. It's like coming out of the closet, but tenfold. It's like coming out remember the one video I made coming out of the forest? It's like that. Imagine that. You'd have to do it at some point. You would have to do it. It is. When would you rather do it? Would you rather do it with someone who already knows how it is?
Yeah. Or
someone who has no idea what's going on? And imagine telling that person. I mean, like I said in the video, I think it's important.
Yeah.
They're gonna know. If you're depending on what your otherkinness is to you and how important it is to you and how much it is an aspect of your life, maybe you wouldn't tell your significant other, and it wouldn't matter. But like for us, it's sort of important, and they're gonna know. And it's so much easier to tell someone who already knows this sort of thing. Instead of like having to come out of the woods about this to someone who doesn't understand any of it and trying to relate it to something that they'll understand, like saying it's transgender like, but it's not transgender, it's like trans species, and it's just a mess. That would just be a mess, in my thought. Total mess.
Yeah, and my thoughts are, when I was initially dating other non-kin, my biggest fear, my biggest apprehension was the idea, like, okay, everything kind of looks great, but how do I feel about actually telling them? It's just an immense amount of stress, like, because you don't want to rock the boat of what you already have, and your initial feeling is to just, well, maybe you can just hide it well, and I later thought about it, and no, you can't. You just can't.
You can't hide it but for so long. Well, depending on, like I said, how the Otherkin thing or therian thing is to you, but like, for us, you can't hide it, but for so long. At some point, it's going to happen, and you're going to have to tell them. And if they're not one, it's just like, yeah, how is that going to rock the boat? Like, maybe it's going well. You've had a couple dates. You've been going together for a couple months, even 6 months. Let's say you wait 6 months somehow, and you finally tell them. Who's to say that won't make them run away?
Yeah.
Who's to say that they won't think you're crazy? I mean, I wouldn't blame them. Granted, on the outside looking in, I've said this before. I think when I first heard about this, I thought it was sort of an insane thing, but I was like, was it? I just didn't. It does sound insane. So I wouldn't blame someone who is not part of the community thinking this is a little tad off the wall. So, it could shake things up really hard in a relationship. So earlier to tell someone, the better in this case, really. You want to tell someone out the gate. It's like go out the gate. Like, hey, by the way, I'm a wolf if you're a wolf.
But then you also have to balance it out. Well, that alone could make them run away before they really have a chance to know you and understand that you're not crazy. You just have to sort of eyeball it. You either take your risk one way or you take your risk the other way.
Either way, you're in a risk. I think being a therian Otherkin really does complicate dating. So you're always at a risk. Unless, you're at a risk when dating a non-kin. When you're with a kin,
yes, that risk is highly mitigated.
The risk is gone, unless you think there may be an issue with species. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some, if you go in the community, there's some people who don't like other species. I've already said before how dragon kin are sort of criticized a lot in the community because they don't think they're real. Once again, shame on you people. But, maybe you're a wolf and you just don't believe in dragons and the fact that a dragon can exist. That can shake up a relationship pretty fast if they don't want to, if they don't believe that another kin is as valid as a therian is. So it can still be even in Otherkin relationships, but where to start at? So it basically, like, back to the self-conscious thing, because we started there and got to that. If you're dating an Otherkin, you're not going to be as self-conscious because they understand. They can relate. The whole relating, that baseline, even if you're a different species, you have that base foundation. It's that foundation you can relate on. And you may everyone experiences their thing differently. We experience our thing differently. Yeah. We do, but we both had that foundation of, we know what it's like to feel like an animal at times. Yeah. To have instincts like an animal. It may be different instincts. It may be different times. It may be different levels of instincts and how present they are and how often they're present. But you have that foundation, and because of that, you don't feel so self-conscious. Because when you do something like he said, they can't say you're crazy because they do something like that.
I mean, she has full out M-shifting spouts, and I barely have any, but I can still relate to her because I have some level of M-shifting from time to time.
Yeah, so different, but he understands because of that foundation. So I could not imagine, with my M-shifting I do, being with a, M-shifting would happen regardless, but being able to do it in front of someone, that's really difficult. And it's taken a long time for me to even do it in front of him because it's such a weird thing. And it is somewhat embarrassing to me. And it's always going to be, I think, because it's so odd and unusual. And I know I look insane doing it. Once again, you will never see me on YouTube doing that. Never. Unless he videotapes it. Because once again, I'm not really there.
Oh, no, you'd kill me.
I would kill you. I would so kill you. I'd be like, no. I'd be like, you show me a video. I'd be like,
no.
What is this video? It's like, why am I on all fours? No. I'd be like, no. You'll never see this, people. Never. You'll never see it. But if I was with a non-kin, I couldn't imagine shifting in front of them. I don't know how many years it would take me to ever do that in front of him, if ever.
I had to put a cover over my head in order for her to stop feeling self-conscious about it. And I'm a kid. Imagine how she would take it if I were not a kid. I don't think she would have done it at all.
No, I probably wouldn't have. So, like, that's back to self-conscious. Like, M shifting for me is a super self-conscious thing for whatever reason, because it's just so weird. It is just so weird. So, because of that, like, even with another person who's a kin, it's like, it takes a lot for me to shift in front of someone else to let that, because I'm letting a lot of guards down when I'm doing that. It's a lot of guards going down to let that out. So, and it feels super self-conscious while doing it. But, I couldn't do it with a non-kin. That would never happen. They would not see it. It'd be years if they ever saw that. It'd just be like a silent thing I do in the bedroom at night, and they don't even know. They just go, what'd you do? Nothing. You were gone for like an hour. It's fine. It's good. Let's see. We have like a little list up here, everyone. I'm staring at the computer screen. I'm trying to be more organized. It's going to be like a 30-minute long video. One thing is, if you're with another, like with us, when you're with another otherkin, they're more likely to participate in otherkin activities. Like maybe they want to go outside and run.
Or maybe they want to organize a therian get together.
Oh yeah, or maybe like we've made a small therian get together.
Yeah.
We got to see like another couple, and they were therians and everything. So we have that interest. Maybe you would both want to dress up as your animal or something, and that's something you would both want to do because that's an otherkin thing or a therian thing. Where we're dating a non-therian, they'd be like, well, why do you want a tail?
Yeah.
Or why do you want ears?
Yeah, it goes back to the understanding thing. I mean, it's not to say that that's an automatically given, but the chances of that happening are much higher.
Yeah, you're always gonna have separate activities you like to do, but like in general, the otherkin activities, you're gonna have similarities that you can do together because you both like it. What's another kin activity you can do together? I mean,
wrestling.
Oh, like wrestling, like wrestling, like play fighting, stuff like that. So that's fun to do. Like as an otherkin,
very fun.
It's extremely fun. Like you can bite and get into it, whatever.
Oh yeah.
It can get heated. So, but that's fun. Like, and I mean, I guess I don't think if you're with a non-kin, that understanding would be gone. They wouldn't understand why you like to play fight. I mean, when you're a kid, you like to because everyone does that. That's an animal instinct we have as children. It's play fighting because that's animal. As humans, we're animals. As we get older, that instinct leaves us, but as I think otherkin therians, the instinct's still there. And you still find enjoyment and some sort of release by being able to fight and like roll over each other and like try and...
Yes, it is a very nice way to channel that need to be out and active as your animal.
Yeah. Could just get like periods where we get like, they get active, you want to do something. And that's sort of, if you're in a relationship with another kin, they sort of understand and you can both do it together and both get joint enjoyment out of that. Where if you're with a non-kin, maybe they do it with you, but they wouldn't find as much enjoyment out of it. Or maybe they wouldn't find any enjoyment out of it. Maybe they wouldn't want to do it at all. They'd be like, screw it, I don't want to wrestle with you. We're grown adults, we're not going to wrestle.
Or they may grow tired of it after a while.
Yeah, maybe in the beginning will be fun, but then they go, we always wrestle, or why we got to
They just don't understand. I mean, they may tolerate it. They may understand that this means something to you, so they do it, but it may, after a while, sort of grate on them.
Yes. So, like, it's big that you can do things together. Like, if you want to lay in the sun together.
Like, that's so good.
And we're both different animals, right? Like, we'll generally, like, he's somewhat of a waking dragon, the tiger, but mostly tiger.
Yeah.
So, his wanting to lay in the sun is different than mine, but we both had that same, like, we both want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I like to do it because I feel like a dragon, that I like to lay in the sun because he heats me up, because I'm a reptile. What reptiles do. You want to heat up and lay in the sun. So I get that instinct and he'll get the instinct, and that's another activity we can do together. Just lay in the sun and do nothing. Or lay around and do nothing. That's always an instinct. I feel like I shouldn't be doing anything ever. I shouldn't work. I should just lay around and be an animal and not do anything, right? So otherkin activities. I think, like I said, it's easier with another otherkin. You may be able to do some of it with a non-kin, but it'd just be so difficult. It wouldn't be the same. Unless they're really understanding. I mean, there are plenty of you I know that are probably dating non-kin who don't know. But I think, once again, it varies on what your identity as an otherkin means to you and how much it affects your daily life. With me, it affects a lot of it because of the M-shifting thing. It's like, it's sort of more important to me than maybe someone who just identifies as a wolf but doesn't really do anything wolf-like. Another bull is like, did we already touch on that? Do you understand the feeling thing? No, not really?
Well, that goes into like things like we know how it, rather we don't know, but we understand, we can relate to how it feels to have someone else scratch right here. And like when you do it to yourself, you just don't, it doesn't, you don't get as much out of it. But when someone else does it and, they understand.
It's just so much more appealing. Like it's sort of like, think of it like when you have like someone petting a dog, right? They know the dog.
The dragon's not really active right now.
Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. Maybe more up here then.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Okay. Like, think of it like if you have a pet dog and you're scratching the dog's ear. Like, as a human, you understand the dog likes that, and you like that the dog likes that, but you don't understand the logistics of why the dog likes that, or what it feels like to be scratched behind the ear. But as a otherkin who's dating another otherkin, like, I understand he likes being scratched on the head because that feels good. And I can relate because I like being scratched where my horns are, / I like being scratched on my neck. Somewhat different because this is for his ears and not for horns. Like, he likes to do it because his ears. But, I don't have ears as a dragon, but some of you dragons do. But, you can have that understanding where instead of a human scratching a dog, it's two animals sort of scratching each other. I guess. And, like, once again, that understanding, you see the term, that word keeps coming back. And that's the biggest word about this dating thing is understanding. Like, two human beings who understand the fundamentals of what it's like to feel like you're an animal. And that's such an important thing.
It is, and while it's not necessarily required for a relationship to work, it does help a lot, especially seeing as relationships are a lot about communication.
They are. And like I said, there's plenty of you that don't date kins, but like, once again, it varies. Yeah. And it is so much easier for us to date both similar kin thing because of how we express our animal sides. Yeah. It's just so much easier,
Yeah.
One thing is, which he has more experience than I really do, is the effects of being like, okay, you'll say you're dating an otherkin or a therian, and you're dating one who is the same species as you. Some people might find that is something that is important. For us, he's mostly a tiger and I am only a dragon.
Yeah.
We're a different species. So you definitely don't have to be a wolf dating a wolf or a dolphin dating a dolphin.
Now, I'd like to put my 2 cents in here. Before I met her, I was all about, no, I must be in a relationship with a tiger, otherwise it won't work, because I need to be with a tiger, point blank, because then they won't understand me. Well, I got what I wanted, kind of. They were more than just a tiger, but suffice to say, it was not the deciding factor in whether the relationship worked or not. It helped, but it was far from helping to determine whether the relationship worked or not. I was completely missing personality. I was only looking at one thing, and it didn't work out. It's just the way it goes. If the chemistry isn't there, if the personalities don't intermesh well, it's not going to work.
Yeah, regardless if they're the same species or not. Like, maybe the ideal of having someone who's the same species as you is nice. It doesn't mean it's going to work out because they're the same species. That's just sort of nice. It'd be cool, but I don't want a person who is 100% another dragon, just because I feel I would be self-conscious with another dragon, thinking they're more of a dragon than I am.
Yeah.
And I'd always compare myself to them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When I was with the tiger, I would always wonder, like, how much of a tiger really are you? Like, you seem to be pretty skimpy on the tiger, I know you're a lot of other things, but you seem to be kind of skimpy, and I guess it made me feel like I was scrutinizing the person more simply because they were not a tiger.
See, I'd scrutinize myself more. I'd be like, as good as a dragon as this person who may be an awakened dragon for like 10 years. I've not been awakened nearly that long. It's like, he's so much more of a dragon than me, sort of thing. So I feel super self-conscious. And plus especially him, he said it's more interesting when you're different species.
Yes, it's very interesting when you're different species because you don't have as...
He's sick.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sick. When you're the same species, you generally have some sort of idea of what the other person's side will sort of lean towards. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but it's just sort of you feel like you're in a routine ×2 because there's two people doing it at the same time. Not to say that there's a routine per se, it's just like two people doing very similar things that you thought there'd be more to.
Yeah, you sort of like, I mean, obviously there's nothing wrong with dating someone who's your same type,
Yeah,
and maybe that's fine for a lot of
Definitely
people. But it's sort of like, in one level, you when you date someone who's not your species, you get sort of a mystery with
Yes,
it. It's a mystery.
very much.
Because even though you have that foundation of understanding what it's like to be an otherkin, because of that foundation, the similarities that overlap between all species generally, you have these now differences. Like, oh, well, they're going to make this noise that I wouldn't make, and they're going to make it when I'm not going to make it. And you're like, you don't really ever understand. You understand, but you don't. It's different, but similar.
And it gives you more to discover about the person. It helps build the bonds relationship because you get to learn more about them, and you don't have to just sort of pretend you don't know anything as you might with you're the same species.
Yeah, where you sort of like, you already know what they're gonna. Oh no, they're gonna be different. But
they're gonna be different.
You have an idea that they're gonna do this because of this, because you understand why they're gonna do this.
Yes.
Where like with me, I'm a dragon. I do different things than a tiger does. So, I mean, at this point, he knows all the things I do as a dragon, but they're still different than what a tiger would do. Yes. So totally different. So it makes it more interesting.
And it's fun to sort of play into the idiosyncrasies of another person. Like, she likes to blow on things and sort of claim it as her own. But then she started sort of blowing at me sort of like back off. So I blowing back at her, and then we just blow each other back and forth, and just, I don't know, it just turns into a fun thing.
Yeah, now this is a playful thing. It's totally different species thing, and it's just sort of fun to do. Like, you can like get into these little things, like and be playful about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously you're the same species, you could do the same thing, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But in just a general sense, it's fun to have these little things you can be playful with in another kin thing. Like, I do like blowing at him as a claiming thing, also just for fun. It's just sort of fun to blow at him. I don't know why dragons do that, but, you know, I'm still learning. So it's just fun. Like, regardless if I'm shifty feeling or not, it's still enjoyable to do. And it's just sort of a cute thing you can do as a couple. I mean, I don't know what everyone else does as a otherkin couple, but, I mean, that's what we do. And it's entertaining. We do other stuff, too, but that's just one of the things. What's it now? Oh, yeah. One thing I'd like to touch on very briefly, because there's not much to talk about with this, is how dating an otherkin, when you are an otherkin, could maybe affect the bedroom, like when you do stuff in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could affect in the sense that, you know, everyone's unique, and this may not affect everyone. Sometimes I guess some otherkin or therians may want to do something. Maybe that's pertaining to their animal. Maybe they like to bring the animal thing into the bedroom, and that's something they like to do.
But maybe they like to claw or something.
Yeah, maybe they like to claw, or they like to bite, which people who are non-kin like to bite. And that's pretty normal biting. So, even though, okay, non-kin and otherkin may have, you know, certain things they want in the bedroom. And sometimes when you're an otherkin, you may, like I said, want to bring animal things into the bedroom, and that may be something you both like to do, or more likely to do if you're with an otherkin, because you get that similarity of like, okay, well, they want to do something like animal-like in the bedroom. Well, maybe you'll like that. Or maybe you'll understand why they want to do that. That understanding, again, that word, comes back into it. Like, oh, I understand, you know, maybe I don't like it, but they like it because, you know, they're this animal. That's just what they're into. You're going to do it because they want to do it. But, I mean, even if you're in dating a non-kin, they may be still willing to do stuff like that anyway. But, you know, once again, that understanding of like, okay, they want to do something animal in the bedroom because that's, you know, what they want to do, and they like, that's part of their animal thing. And that could, like, take various forms, like the whole biting or scratching, or, I guess, various positions or something, like, if you want to do it like that. Or making, like, animal noises during it, if you're, like, into that. Or, maybe you would do role play sort of thing. But you can be very different in, like, your bedroom. It can be totally separate. You can have totally, like, as otherkin, you can have totally different bedroom ideas. Mm-hmm. Like, some people may like to do animal things with bedroom stuff, and some people may be totally against doing animal things in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And even if you're separate, you can still do stuff. You still find a way to make everyone happy. Mm-hmm. So, I guess, dating another kin makes it easier to bring in those activities into the bedroom, I would think. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you like to say on that?
I mean, I have nothing really to add to that.
Okay, I'm like, I don't know what else to say about that. That's basically it with that. It's just, it may be easier if you're dating another kin than a non-otherkin. Because once again, that understanding happens. Yeah. Gotta love understanding. So, that's really about everything. with dating otherkin. It's just to sum it up, it's generally you have that base, that foundation, because you have similar feelings and instincts, and you understand what it's like. So that foundation really helps take root the relationship.
And it helps that you're a lot less self-conscious because of it.
Yeah, and you're a lot self-conscious because you're, because of that foundation, they have that level of understanding. It's just all about understanding. And maybe you can get that as dating a non-kin. But like we said, I just find it easier. We both find it easier dating a kin because you have the level of understanding, that foundation that makes it so much easier to not be self-conscious in a relationship. But that's basically it with this, guys. I don't know what else to really say. This video's gotten on long enough as it is. I think we probably went on longer than we should have in some sections, but it was good. It's a good take. We're only doing one take for this. One take. And once again, if you ever have anything you want to hear, like if you ever want him to come back and talk about like something particular, like about him being a tiger or something like that obviously I can't answer. I'm not a therian, like he's a therian. So, and if there's some sort of particular question like that Seth here, that's totally fine. He would probably come back. Yeah, he'd be willing to come back, so feel free to like ask, and you always know you can throw me questions about whatever, be it lucid dreaming or reef tanks or other kin things or meditations or like spirit animals and all that crazy stuff. At some point I'll make a lucid dreaming video in the future, but I really went over all the topics. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm probably gonna come up with something, but I mean, I've already went over a lot of that. And other kin wise, I don't know what else to talk about, really. I don't know what else to talk about. I have to think. But hey, give me suggestions, because I don't know, guys. I need your help. I don't know what I'm supposed to make a video on. But thank you for watching.
Yep, thank you for watching.
I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a super day.